Hello students, today we'll be doing some poetry. So the two poems which are prescribed in your course are Dust of Snow and Fire and Ice. These two are the poems of Robert Frost. So let me tell you about the poet first. Robert Lee Frost. He was an American poet. He was born on 26 March 1874 and died on 29 January 1963. He is known for his descriptions of rural life, colloquial speech, and his poetry about ordinary people in everyday situations. In these two poems also, he has just given you some ordinary thoughts. Now, before starting up the poems, let me tell you something about figures of speech. Figures of speech are used in poetry in order to give poetry a very different character, a very sublime character, means special character which is something extraordinary which we do not find in our ordinary lives. So, he has used following figures of speech in this, like first of all, alliteration. Alliteration is repetition of consonant sound. Okay. I'll give you example in the text. Next is assonance. Assonance is the repetition of vowel sound. That is two vowel sounds. They'll appear simultaneously. Next would be metaphor. Metaphor is a very important figure of speech. In metaphor, what we do is we just compare two different things indirectly. In simile, we compare it with like and as, whereas in metaphor, we compare two different things indirectly. So in the poem, I'll tell you about the metaphors. Then is antithesis. Antithesis is opposite. When two opposites come together, they mark antithesis. Next is synedogy. Synedogy is change in the mood. It can be from positive to negative as well as negative to positive. But basically, we consider it from negative to positive. So these are the terms, and rhyme scheme is also there, like in Dust of Snow, we have the rhyme scheme of AB, etc., which I'll tell you later on. So now let's move on to the poems. First of all, we'll be doing Dust of Snow. Dust of Snow. In this poem, the poet is in melancholy mood. That is, he is in a very sad mood. He is very much depressed and we don't know why. So he has pointed forth the negative image. He has used some negative symbols like crow and hemlock tree. Hemlock tree is a very poisonous tree which has some flowers on it, and it is used as a symbol of negativity. Similarly is the crow. We consider crow as a symbol of bad omen. Dust is also a negative term. So in this first stanza, all the negative terms have been used. The way a crow shook down on me the dust of snow from a hemlock tree. So that means crow was sitting on the hemlock tree and he was shedding the snowflakes. So crow and snow, they are the figures of speech of assonance. Assonance means, as I already told you, the vowel sounds. So these are the assonance. Over here, crow, hemlock tree and dust, they are the metaphors. They stand for depression as well as they are symbol of bad omen, and these all are the terms of negativity. Snowflakes, as I've already told you, is a metaphor, and these snowflakes are compared to dust. So over here, the poet is in a very melancholy mood and he was just observing that crow was sitting on hemlock tree, and he was shedding that snowflakes from itself. Now next, has given my heart a change of mood. Has and heart, they are examples of alliteration. A change of mood and saved some part. Saved and some, they are also alliteration. Of a day I had rued. Rude means wasted. So rude and mood, they are the part of assonance. So the assonance alliteration we have, and we also have synecdoche. Synecdoche is change of mood from positive to from negative to positive. So this is our synecdoche, because has given my heart a change of mood. That means he was in sorrowful mood, he was in a very deep depression, you can say. But when this crow shed the snowflakes from himself, then it was a change in its mood. Like how it had affected, he's just had an introspect, he's just had an inclination that I should also change my mood. So synecdoche. Has given my heart a change of mood. That means he is now refreshed. The poet is now refreshed. He is thinking positive now. And saved some part. That means at least he is able to save something for himself. Of a day I had rued. Means this whole day has been wasted out in negativity by him. That means he was very negative. He was thinking very bad. He was in melancholy, he was in depression. So it was almost a waste of the day for him. But now suddenly something has beckoned him, something has changed his mind. That was what has changed? Crow has changed his mind to positivity. Now he's feeling lighter, he's feeling somewhat satisfied from the fact that he would be able to at least save some part of the day which he has already wasted. Now he can be happy. He could be happy now, and he could again retrospect. He could again just feel good enough for the life which has to come ahead. So, Dust of Snow is a poem in which he is telling us that we should not be obstructed by the negativity. We should always think positive. No doubt the life is full of hardships, but a ray of hope should always be there in order to continue our life. So this is the poem Dust of Snow. Fire and ice. So fire is the antithesis of ice. As we all know, fire is the opposite of ice. Both fire and the ice, they are personified in this poem. Both are metaphors, and fire stands for desire and passion, whereas ice stands for reason, hatred, and coldness. Basically, this poem is a rhetorical argument between fire and ice. They both want to show how supreme they are and how negative they are. Rhetorical in the sense they are just echoing out their own thoughts. They are not talking, but they are just arguing between themselves. And in this, the rhyme scheme is A, B, A, B, C, B, C, B. So just note down A, B, A, and B, C, B, C, B is the rhyme scheme. Now, over here, there has been anaphora. Anaphora is the repetition. So, over here, some say, these forms the anaphora. Some say the world will end in fire. Some say in ice. From what I have tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. Favor, fire are alliteration. Hold and those are assonance. some say are anaphora, and this whole line, some say that the world will end in fire. This is the example of imagery. Now, there are two arguments in this, that some people say that world will end in fire and some say that ice will end the world. So there's been an argument between both fire and ice that who's going to finish the world. So for some it's fire and for some it's ice. From what I have tasted of desire, desire means fire. Fire stands for desire and passion. So the poet says, from my point of view, I think that fire will end this world. I hold with those who favor fire. Means I am with those who are with fire, that who support fire, that fire is the only one who's going to destroy our world. But over here, fire basically is the desire. It can just burn out each and everything, whatever comes in its way. So, according to poet, he thinks that fire is the only one which can just destroy our world. But if it had to perish twice means two times. Now, if the world has to be destroyed two times, doubly destroyed, I think I know enough of hate. Hate stands for fire. To say that for destruction, ice is also great. Means ice can also be the mode to destroy the world. And would suffix. Suffix means take place. It will be sufficient. It would be wholesome. So, by no means ice is lesser than fire. I stands for reason, hatred, and coldness. Coldness amongst humans. Fire is also among humans, but fire is basically a natural desire. But ice is the feeling of coldness, hatred. Actually, also, you can say that hatred also comes under ice. When something is covered with snow, it loses all its feelings. So that is why ice is truly very destructive in perishing or in destroying or in finishing the world. So over here, ice means if the choice is given between fire and ice, no doubt poet chooses fire because fire is a natural cause. But ice is a man-made cause. When you are cold, when you turn inhumane, you can say that means ice has come in your heart. Your heart has become frozen. That is why you have shedded all the qualities of being a human. You are rude, you are rough, and you will destroy your own race with this ice. But with fire also you do the same thing, but fire is basically the desire. At least you have some feelings about it, but cold or ice is without any feeling. So now the argument ends in that both fire and ice are sufficient to finish our world. So he would be supporting both of them. No doubt fire and ice should be out from the realms of human nature because they are the element of destruction. But still, if ever the world is going to finish, it would be because of fire and ice, which are both equal to each other, no less than each other, and they are capable of destroying, destructing. So in the end, both fire and ice are destructive, and we should not welcome them. We should welcome good feelings so that we can live and let other people live also and die in peace. So fire and ice both are destructive. Let us not talk about it. We should be positive in our approach so that our world never perishes or never destroys. So this completes our poems. I think you've understood and they are clear to you. Okay then, thank you.